Hi students, today I'm going to talk a little bit about MLA formatting for your short writing assignments and essays. So I've already got a document open in Microsoft Word. It started off on the home screen here. And first things first, we're going to check the margins. So we're going to click over in Page Layout and go to Margins. You'll notice right now it's at the Word default, which is 1.25. We want 1 inch all the way around. It's great. So we've got that changed. We're going to go up into the header and set the page number. So just double click near the top, it'll open the header and the header tools. We'll go over to page number, top of page, and pick the one that's right justified. And then simply type your last name. And we need to change the font. The default font for MS Word is Calibri, and in most classes you're going to use Times New Roman, size 12. So let's just change that to Times New Roman, size 12. Alright, so I've added a second page, and you see when I did that, it went ahead and put the page number there, updated, with the last name, which is what we want. Alright, so click somewhere below the header to get into the heading. Mine keeps changing my margin here for some reason, my indent, so I'm just going to move that back over to the left where it goes. And here, I'm just going to hit Control A, which just selects all. Go to Times New Roman, size 12. Perfect. Alright, first things first, in your heading is your name. We like to know who wrote the paper. Then your teacher's name with their preferred title. I'm just going to use instructor here. That's a safe bet if you don't know if someone's a doctor or a professor. Then the course. So this is English 101, and whatever your section number is. So we're going to use 108 here. Hit enter, and then the date that the paper is due. So let's say it's September 1st. You do not put the assignment title or name in the heading. Great. Next thing we're going to do is go ahead and take a look at how our spacing is set up. I'm going to hit Control A to select everything, right click, and hit paragraph. So right now it's at multiple. Sometimes the default will be at single, but you want double, and it's really important that you check this box that says don't add space between paragraphs of the same style, and click OK. If you don't do that, you're going to end up with something that looks like this. And you notice the spaces are a lot bigger. It's going to add these extra spaces before and after your title too, and in between your paragraphs. You may think you've written a 4-page essay, but when your teacher goes in and changes the spacing to double to be correct, you may only have 3 pages. It's really, really important that you do this. Okay, great. So now that we have our heading done, we're going to move into our title. Just hit enter once, and then center. So let's say we're going to call it Pan Am after the Hunger Games. Now this isn't really a very descriptive title at all. So let's say we're going to use a subtitle, right? Which is great, because sometimes you have a clever, fun title that's not very descriptive. A subtitle here allows you to have something that's going to tell your reader a little bit more about what it's about. For that, we're going to use a colon. The second part of the title goes on the next line. Why Bread Rocks. Not the best title. I'm sure you can come up with something better, but it works for what we're doing. Now, someone may not be familiar with Pan Am if they haven't read The Hunger Games or seen the movies. So we may want to be a bit more descriptive. And this is where some of the MLA formatting comes in as well. You don't need to underline, bold, italicize your title, or put quotes around it, unless you're citing another work. So let's say we're going to call it The Hunger Games. That's very clear. The Hunger Games. Now we know it's about the Hunger Games and bread. So since it's a longer work, I'm using MLA, I'm going to go ahead and italicize that. Let's say it's a short work that you're going to be quoting in your title. Or I should say citing, but we are essentially putting quotes around it. So let's say you went into JSTOR, and the article you found is Why Bread Rocks, and your paper is a critique of this article. Well, then we're going to call it a critique of Why Bread Rocks. Now MLA, shorter works get quotation marks. Just going to pop it around just like that. So let's say that you don't have a title at all. This is a short writing assignment. In that case, you would simply type the name of the assignment here. Again, don't put this up in the header. It just takes up the header or the heading. It just takes up a little more space. Alright, to start our first body paragraph, we're going to hit enter. We're going to left justify and then hit tab. Make sure you're using tab for your paragraph indents instead of just hitting the space bar over and over again. So this is where your paper starts. Alright, that's pretty simple, and you can refer to this video again for other assignments. This should make things easy, and again, like I said, a lot of classes are going to use the same formatting, although they might want the date written different or something like that, so it's a good one to keep on hand.